July 17th, July 19th.
Perfect.
Right?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Do you want to use these for?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Whenever you call it, I'll pass those around.
Got a minute. How's everyone been?
Is it
It's good.
good? All
Yeah,
right.
it
You can
turned out-
squeeze in your ball.
I've been squeezing.
And I'm taking therapy for my knee.
What?
I'm taking therapy for my knee.
Are you?
My knee went out.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
gosh.
it just buckled on me.
Mm.
And I didn't fall, I didn't twist it, I didn't do any of those things, but now I'm on therapy.
So
And it
if you
works. I hope.
Go in doing your
Not
physical
yet.
there.
Yeah.
Oh,
The order's in, they haven't called me. So I've been squeezing that ball.
You
That's
bet.
tough.
Squeezing that one.
They made me go the next day.
They
The
did.
next day, it was rough, wasn't it? Ooh, it
6
was so
o'clock.
rough.
Struggled a bit that
It was
day.
bad.
6 o'clock, David.
6
Okay.
o'clock. I call it meeting to order, let's stand and pledge allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We got some minutes to approve.
I have them separated out here. So we wanted to start with the one from the June 19th and pass that.
Do we need a motion for each set of minutes? Or
I
we
would
just do
think
them all?
so.
Yeah, I would think so too.
I think
I'm
so.
correct for that, just wanted to make sure.
Did I hear a motion to accept the minutes?
I have corrections.
Okay.
For which one?
June 19th. This is the Board of
Which one do you
Adjustment
have?
meeting. This is the 10 a.m. First of all, on the first opinion, board opinion with Philip Sparks, these minutes do not reflect the first part of the meeting where we were all thinking that this was supposed to be what was in the backyard. It says nothing about that in there, and as being the minutes of meetings are legal documents, we need to make sure that we are putting in our minutes what actually happened. And I would like to see that part of it added. I would hate to think that Mr. Phillips would have to come back in again, this would make the third time, to document that we were all at the back of his house and not at the front where we should have been.
It's only supposed to include motions. You're not supposed to have
Yeah,
every
you're supposed to.
detail.
Going to make a suggestion on that. On the newest set of minutes, I've added a line at the bottom of the footnote that states that we are recording and live streaming our meetings. Therefore, other than the motions, if it's needed, we can go back and review them. Because it's getting to be too much within the actual physical meeting minutes.
Yeah.
So that would be my recommendation.
All right.
But I'm sorry.
I disagree with that, because I've always had fulsome minutes. Also, on the next item, the board opinion, and this was on Daniel. He was here representing his mom and dad that are the Chinese that they don't understand. He's being their interpreter. I know this is what happened, but we also discussed other things, and I think it absolutely needs to be included that because we did pass this as an opinion, as a starting point, that no work could actually be done until he came back and went through the regular system with Ann and whatever else, if they decide to tear down this home. And I would like to see that added in, because if they would have any kind of misunderstanding and start working and start deconstructing their home over there, I mean, my goodness, Hall's Road has to be shut down. There has to be permissions to be able to have dumpsters there for the debris and everything coming out. I would like to see that we do have a statement in there saying that this is a first possible approval, but work can be done, they need to come back and go through the full process with him.
Which I was gonna make a suggestion on that as well. I was thinking, which would cover us legally even further, is to issue a zoning letter to them. So that, I mean, y'all can still change the meeting minutes if you want to, but at least the zoning letter is official, it'll be on record, it'll be with that, and it'll state all that in writing to them. I could do that. In addition to that.
Then I would like to see that added into these minutes, because I'm afraid someplace down the road, somebody's gonna come back and they say, well, you said it was okay, you know?
Yeah.
Somebody could misinterpret.
I definitely think, a zoning letter would help, no matter if we do it in the meeting
Right.
minutes or whatever, but I would love to do a zoning letter with that recommendation, and that way they have full knowledge and it's in writing from this board and the zoning administrator
Yes.
office stating what they are and aren't allowed to do in great detail. So I can make sure that that is delivered and certified mail, and then we know that they signed for the letter and got it.
I think that's an excellent suggestion.
Okay.
That we
Could
go ahead
we-
and do that.
Could we use that zoning letter and make reference to the zoning letter in the minutes, just saying, like, would that be like an addendum? Just, we're gonna attach this zoning letter to the
Well,
minutes?
but nobody really knows what a zoning letter is about, do they? I mean, if somebody was coming in,
Well, I
could
mean-
be reading these minutes, would
But-
they,
but
would they
we'd attach-
necessarily know it?
But
She's
we
saying attach it
attach
to
the
the
mail
letter.
to the
Yes.
I'm with you,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
with you, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's both good suggestions. I think that
I
would
would
fit
like
the
to
bill
do
for
that.
everything. Yeah.
And then I had one more question. Both of these things were something, that were listed as board opinions, and you had, Dodd, our city attorney, had this be opinions. Now, I kind of understood why the thing with on 11 East Halls Road is an opinion, but why would the roof over an existing porch and sidewalk be an opinion? I don't understand the difference.
Because
Can we explain that?
Yeah, under grandfathering uses, anything that's extending or enlarging, and to me, it's borderline if that's not enlarging that use to a certain degree, because you are adding to it.
Yeah, it's just that I've never seen board opinion listed. Have you guys ever seen board opinion listed before? I've never seen it on any documents that we'd ever done before in the last 3 years I've been on the board.
But no, I mean, it's allowable, like anytime there's a question that I'm not sure about, I have the right to come to you guys as a board and ask for your opinion on something, instead of me just making the executive decision if I'd rather have your all's opinion.
No, I was just asking for more of a, why it would feel like the one on the first one with Mr. Phillips. I mean, he did fill out an application.
Because he was going to do a zoning permit. He was actually putting something up. That's what me and you had talked about in the
Yeah,
past.
yeah.
So a zoning permit, he actually filled out one while I was gone that day to take my son to the
Gotcha.
doctor.
Yeah.
And I would have been able to tell him prior, but since we had the information, I just passed it on.
Just pass it on.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you
Yeah.
did.
The other people weren't in the position to even build or do anything yet, so they hadn't filled out a zoning permit application.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and see, that's why I fully understood why that would be a
Yeah.
board opinion. I was still under.
It's the exact same scenario, it's just he happened to fill out an application prior to me being gone without being able to explain that information to him while he was in the office. He had it filled out with joy.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, I would like to see these changes added to our minute meetings, please.
So it's a motion to
Make
bring
a
those back.
make a motion to add information to our meeting minutes.
Fair, second.
I'll second that.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And do we need a motion for the zoning letter?
I think that was part.
I don't think so, cause that's part of, I
That's
mean, I don't know,
part-
that's part of my
the
job
update, I
duties, and
think.
I think
Okay.
it's just
Yeah.
for clarification, as
Okay.
a recommendation from the board, y'all would prefer me send that, and I'll just do that.
Gotcha.
I don't think that requires a motion.
So the meeting minutes from,
July
This one.
17th, that's July 17th, that's what you handed me.
no, it says August 21st. I think you gave me back today's minutes.
Oh, I did.
Okay, you're on top, okay. Here's the next one. Here's
There
the
you go,
next
have
one.
that one.
But these from June 19th, we are not, they're going to be amended, so we're not approving these, correct?
Right.
Should have been done,
Yeah.
That'll be done at next month.
Yeah,
Okay,
next
gotcha.
month.
All right, next.
July 17th, mayor motion to approve is titled.
I make the motion to approve as issued.
I'll
Do
second.
I hear a second? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Which one was that?
That is the
July
July
17th.
17th.
Okay.
So let's get our signature on that one. Are you left-handed, Kevin?
No, mine.
Okay.
Now, do we have one more?
Yeah, we have one more.
Yes.
We got one more.
What's the other? I just wanted to get these
It's
to you.
July.
No, no, I was just gonna turn to it, and I
19.
don't see it tonight.
There you go, 19. I had sent it to you typed. It's 19.
I thought we just did
All right.
tonight.
No, that was the June
And here's
19th,
the-
because you
June
made changes to the
19th.
previous
Got
one.
it. I'm
Yeah,
with you, thank you.
you're welcome.
All right. Okay, my signature.
What do we want to do with this one? Is this,
That is,
there's just one page.
Okay, yes, gotcha.
Sonia?
Did you want that all of it then? It's all in the packet. It's like only
Alright.
one-page copy.
Oh,
That's why I got a page, this is from you, this was the, that was the
It might not have
July
been in that.
19th.
Oh,
Was this?
okay.
Yeah, it did.
I didn't
I
have
thought
it in my.
that was the
Yeah,
only
it's
one,
in
because
the-
my printer
it's in
automatically
the-
does that.
Electronic packet.
Okay.
I haven't, I don't have a copy of that, so I don't even know what's on it.
If we want to move on to the next one, I'll print those off and y'all can sign them real quick before you
Okay.
guys leave.
Okay.
Alright.
So this
And that's the July
We're
19th meeting?
part of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
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 But
what's
the
next?
July 19th got approved, correct? Okay,
Yes,
Yes.
as amended,
okay. Got it.
but we need to,
Sign.
well,
should-
we'll
a
have
signer-
to,
a signer
have to
page?
sign for it.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
when we
I
get-
know. Yeah.
I'm with
I
you.
got you.
Okay.
Yeah, so the next thing will be the,
Approve corrected dimensional variance application for future use of changes recommended from July 17th meeting.
yeah, I actually took that, I didn't mean to leave that on there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Take
We'll
that
scrap
out.
it.
Me and Ruth had already got that worked out.
Okay. And
My
I guess
bad.
we're moving on to
New business, any public comment?
All right.
I've nothing.
All right, we got dimensional variance for Stacy Caldwell, 44
Yeah,
Broad
he
Street.
is available by phone. The person he was gonna have here to represent was in an accident, so they can't be here, but I can call him right now and put him on speakerphone.
Hey, this is Stacy.
Hey Stacy, you're on speakerphone for everybody to hear you. We're just now getting to the dimensional variance.
Sounds good. Hi,
Okay.
everybody.
Hello.
I'm very sorry that I could not be there in person. I have a meeting in Lexington that fortunately I don't really have to be in until about 6:25 or 6:30. So hopefully we can talk through this. But man, I'll turn it back over to you. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thanks. They're looking over things now, Stacy.
Okay, sounds good.
On this here, is this Bright Street here? Is this the street up here?
Yeah.
Okay. And I drove by there. Is this the one that is the furthest towards
It's the closest to the road.
the
Main
closest
Street.
to
Main Street.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this part over here just looks like it's like a big mess, okay?
I had trouble reading this one as well.
Alright.
This is the third time we've looked at this, and what we're looking at now used to be owned by John Brewer. That was
Gotcha.
his lot.
Gotcha. And all of the neighbors have been notified? Have you heard anything from anyone?
No, nothing from the neighbors.
Okay, I have been going by this, I like to watch the new houses we're getting in our community, and I like to see what they're looking like and all that kind of stuff. As I was going by these, and this thing, I've noticed a lot of standing water. Now, I talked to Ann about it, she said that they got a approval from the mayor to use the back alley for water runoff, but there's a lot of water that's still standing on those lots. What was the lot that we're now looking at that used to belong to John Brewer, it had a people building houses and have standing water under a house, and eventually you have rot, and then your joists fall down and all kinds of things. I was rather concerned about that. Does anybody have any thoughts regarding that? Or is there any explanation of how you're gonna get the water out of there?
Yes, certainly, because we had the same issue with the first house that we built, facing standing on the road, facing the house on the right. When we first built the foundation, there's about a foot of water that stayed in the bottom of it. And what we did two things. The houses we built will have sump pumps. That's step one, but step two is the more important one. We built basically what is a lagoon in the back, where you take very large gravel dug into about a 10-foot pit. And what that does is allows the water to flow into the lagoon as long as it's sloped towards it, which it is. And it's got grass on it, like it just looks like a yard. You'll never see it, but the water dissipates from the topsoil down into that gravel lagoon and then dissipates into the earth. And it worked really well. So that's what we did to house 1 and house 2. House 3 will be slightly different in the sense of we're going to build it up at least 1 block with a concrete slab as opposed to a crawl space, because we know coming from that original driveway there might be some more water flow. We're going to slope the entirety of the thing back into a newly built lagoon in the back, and it'll be coming around a slab. So there won't be any issue with water into the house, and the water will dissipate back to the lagoon.
Okay, now I see that it's going to be, the space is gonna be reduced down, 5-foot variance. Will that ditch that is there now, will that remain? So whoever buys that property will be mowing a ditch?
The ditch will be there. I think our property line basically crosses the center of the ditch.
Right.
But the ditch will certainly be there. If anything, we'll slope it a little more so the water kind of cascades to the back. But yeah, that's the general plan.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I have a question. Since I'm new here, perhaps this has been addressed previously. This lot's 55 feet wide, is that correct? And R1 is supposed to have a 100-foot width. And I see the variance is just for the 5 feet on each side. Do we need to address the variance and that requirement with the width of the lot, and or is that addressed somewhere else or previously?
No, Motley come and filled out the variance. I was asking him what all he thought it needed, but we can address that if we need to, Stacy, right?
Yeah, we certainly can. I think that the other 2 variances that we received were also within about a 52 to 55 feet range. So in order to abate the 30 feet kind of surrounding on the side, we asked for the variance that we asked for. This one, we're doing a different floor plan. Instead of doing a wider house, it'll be a slightly slimmer house and go up 2 stories. But yeah, if we need to work on the 100-foot, like when Motley's feeling a little better, we can certainly do that. I won't go deep into his history, but he had a pretty bad accident and he's currently in the hospital, so hopefully he'll be out in the next couple of days.
Okay. I think if you all guys want to, we can still vote on this variance, and then we could bring the 100-foot variance back to this
to
board.
us.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we may even, if they need to do it quicker, Stacy, this board, I'm not speaking for them, but they have been really good with working. If we need to do a special or something with that, we might be able to work that out. I don't know how quick you're wanting to get started building.
Definitely within the next 4 weeks if possible, but if we need to,
I
wait
think
for
we can
variance
work that
to-
out. Yeah. Yeah, we can work that out. Yeah.
The Board of Adjustment is known for having special meetings.
Right.
Any other questions for Stacy?
No, I guess my main thing was obviously they're not gonna get any kind of pushback on this side, but just to make sure that, is it John Brewer, does he still own?
No,
So-
that land has been sold to them.
Mhm.
John Brewer no longer owns that.
He owns all the lots, Stacy does.
Stacy
Gotcha.
owns all of it.
Okay.
Yeah, John Brewer did own that one, yeah.
Okay.
I just had one other kind of comment. I don't know, I know that zoning and mapping and all that's kind of an iterative process as you go through out what should be in what zone and those dimensions. And I noticed that on just kind of looking at Zillow, for example, because I didn't have a very good map to look at this, but there's a number of lot widths on Bright Street. There's some of them very wide, some of them very narrow. They all fall within that R1 zone, which you're supposed to have the dimensions you've outlined. Where works great in your 1960 subdivisions that have great big lots, but there's kind of a wide variance there. I don't know if there's an opportunity at a point in the future to maybe have zone 1A that has narrower lots. Because what's described on this drawing here really kind of fits within your your R2 and R3 zone, where you do have a narrower lot and you allow for tighter, tighter distances to the side. So
I think it's a good idea if y'all guys are for it, because some of the lots are very small and things.
Yeah.
And I don't
That's
think,
been a lot of the problem.
and certainly
yeah,
we want to make sure that folks are able to use those. It
Yes.
helps with your density and helps with everything else. So that's a good thing. But if we could figure out a way to do that kind of in the future, that would
Good
be
idea.
Mhm.
Good idea.
I think
Good
it's
idea.
happening we've seen within that issue.
Yes,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is.
yeah.
Okay. Someone,
Okay, do we need to
Prepared
make
to
a
make a
motion on
motion?
this?
At least on this
Make
five
a
foot
motion
variance, yeah.
on this variance.
No, I didn't make it.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye. Do we need to say that we will, be looking for a second variance on this, or motion, or do we
I have
need
it
it?
in.
You have it in? Okay, good.
Yeah, Stacy, I'll get with you tomorrow and I'll get this done as quickly as possible for you on the 100-foot part.
Okay, sounds
All right, sounds good. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Everyone got approved. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, you got an update on 2 new proposed ordinances dealing with R1 updated buildings including stick-built houses and qualified manufactured homes.
Did y'all have a chance to look over that ordinance I sent over?
Yes.
What did you guys think?
I had a question, I'll let you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just wanted to relay to you, I was here early, of course, and I talked to Ann. I thought she did a wonderful job on
Yeah,
this.
Oh, thank you.
I thought she did a great job on this.
What'd you say, Sonia?
I was pulling it back up because
Oh, you're fine.
I'm sorry.
Digital. Just wanted to check on the, can you see your copy? Because,
Yes, right here.
um,
This is zoning ordinance.
where we asked for them to do the conditional use permit for manufactured homes, does that work with House Bill 21?
Yes.
Because it does say there needs to be
That is-
non-discriminatory practices.
That is one thing that I
Right here.
proposed to Dodd, because I know in the
Yes.
past that's what we've always done, and even our ordinance now says that, so that's kind of why I put it in there. But I do think we're borderline falling
I agree.
into the category that we could be open to.
Because we don't ask
Yeah,
for
because we
for
don't ask
anything
that for
else.
stick built. So I asked Dodd to look that over, and that was one of the questions I put to him. I included it because that's what we do now, but I do think it opens us up. It does make us doing something different for them versus stick
Which
built.
discriminates on.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, and I proposed that to him, so it may be one of those things that with this new House Bill 160, we're not able to do that legally.
Can we adopt this with the provision that we come back when that House bill is actually in law
It was
in
for
July?
April, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Did
but
I see that online?
Yeah,
April,
it doesn't go into effect
Effective
until
until
July
July
of
of
26.
2026.
I
I
thought it was
mean,
already in
on
effect.
if we change our ordinance, it's actually, we can still do that.
We can
Yeah,
still do
we
that.
can make changes, like we can
Mhm.
put that we want to do a first reading on this, or not a first reading, but that we want to put it to the city council for a first
Right.
reading, I said that wrong.
Exactly.
And that with the change that Dodd recommends or doesn't recommend us taking out that language of the conditional use permit, because I did ask him about that, because I had the same thought.
Yeah.
That was the only thought I had.
yeah, I
Everything
think we
else
should
was
be
great.
proactive on it.
Yes,
Do it
yes.
before July
Waiting
26th.
Yeah,
No, we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quit waiting until it's beating us in the head.
Yeah.
All right.
Would you all want me to, with Dodd's, recommendations, because he's reading over the entire thing, including that one recommendation I had him double check on, and he's gonna give me any updates he thinks legally needs to be changed, but with his approval and updates that he brings, would you want me to take it to city council?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think so.
okay.
Do we need a motion on that, or how do we do that, or do we need to take a look at it first? I'm not sure how to proceed.
I mean, I think I would just make a motion to say that you,
It's gonna send it to
are
the
in
city
agreement
council.
with it and you wanna present it to city council for a first reading.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion that, we present this to city council for the first reading.
And of course, I'm getting
Yes.
back our legal advice as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do I have a second to that motion?
I'll second that.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 And you have a staff report?
Yeah, I'll just kind of hit some of the highlights. So, one of the big issues that's going on right now, I don't know if y'all were privy to the city council meeting, and I don't even know if Chris knows this yet. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But, she was there and Dale was there and he asked to be de-annexed from the city of Stanton. So when we originally done that, I went by when Scott Graham overseen the de-annexation of John Bowen's property when John Bowen owned the property where the cell tower is back here. And so, that was not done properly after I looked into KRS statute. It was against statute. The statute actually reads, and I had to issue Dale a letter saying in order for him to be de-annexed out of the city limits of Stanton, you have to put it to a vote. There's like a whole process.
Yes, you do.
And then all the neighbors have to be, so I advised him on all that. I give him a letter, a zoning letter, like we talked a minute ago, of every reason why it didn't fit the statute. I told him to take it to his lawyer. If they found something different than what our lawyers found and I found, then, you know, to let us know, and he's supposed to let me know. But if he wants to be de-annexed, that's the process that has to be followed, is the statute from KRS.
I have a question on that statute too. Does, when it goes, actually has to go on a ballot to be voted on, is it only his neighbors that vote on that, or is it, would it be the whole city of Stanton that votes on that?
I honestly don't know the answer to that.
What was that?
His neighbors.
His neighbors?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
thank you.
I don't know if he wants to open that can of worms up or not, because he'll have to go before the election board,
Yeah,
even have that put on the ballot, and who's gonna pay for that separate ballot
right,
for his neighbors to vote on it?
yeah,
And then, it's gonna create, I mean, who's gonna say, he may say, well, she lives next to me, you see what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's gonna, that's a whole lot.
But-
And then I'll tell you something else on the deal, he came in here on,
Yes.
John Bowen's property was never in the city. That was what the problem was. He was always in the county.
We always showed it as one piece being in and most of it being
But see,
out.
when they went back around
Yeah.
the old maps, that whole piece in there, actually my brother lived over on front of that, his property was never in the city either.
But the process they did,
Yeah, that, the
at
process
the
they did was
time,
wrong.
they done a process to take John's property out at the time, but it wasn't the right process.
It was
If,
not.
for argument's sake, it was in city limits, and like I said, there's, you know, debate on that, like you said. But if it was in fact in city limits, the process that they did was not the right one, yeah. And for sure, Dale's is in city limits, like there's no question on even a portion or anything, and so in order for that to, you know, go forward, it would have to be that statute
A
be followed.
question, the city council did vote to do that. I think Mr. Merriman made the, motion, didn't he, to vote to let him go out? Was
They
that-
did, but if
that-
it
that-
doesn't
that-
follow
that's-
statute,
That's not
yeah.
legal, is it?
No,
I didn't
yeah,
think it was.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, they won't be able to, he can't go out unless he follows that statute process.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, thanks.
Mhm.
Good information.
And then a couple of things, Stephon Markham got put off another month. He went into and he said that in the courtroom, and he asked and said that he was still trying to get representation, that he was in the process of it, and that's the same thing he said the last time. So the judge was very stern with him and said, you know, you're getting 30 more days. At the end of September, this will be heard whether you have representation or not. So I'll give you guys an update after that. And then I've been working on some yard mowing still, couple of things as far as like houses, that need to be torn down, things like that, been sending out letters on that. Working on stuff for the city council on like some of the.
I have a comment.
Mhm.
The tree on my property, and I did ask you, to, have the city file a letter on that for
Yep.
a motion of an ordinance. But the statement that you have here, that Ruth Jones was concerned and over a tree and felt it was dead and a nuisance, I've never felt that tree was dead.
Oh, okay.
That was your statement. I would
Okay.
like to have that revised,
Okay.
please, just the wording of it, because
Yeah.
I will be
be a nuisance, it has to be declared dead.
I will bring this before the city council,
Okay.
and I will go by the ordinance as written.
Okay.
Thank you.
And have you heard anything at all about McDonald's drive-through?
Yes, they are getting started next month. Yep.
Okay. I was
Yep,
just
they
curious.
talked to me this week. Yep,
Okay.
they're getting their business license.
I thought that was going in quite a while ago,
Months
wasn't
ago,
it?
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I know we
because-
approved it months ago.
I know, a long time ago, I think last year.
Okay.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All second?
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye. We're gonna be live tonight. By the way, hi Tony, hi everybody.
Hello, everybody. Is that on? All right, call the August meeting of 2025 Planning Commission meeting to order. Time is what,
7:30 or 6:30?
6:33. All right. Let's say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Father, I thank you for the opportunity to do the business of the Stanton. And I ask you to just guide us and let us do what's right for the city and for the people of Stanton. We just praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Everybody's seen the minutes. Do we have one to sign?
We can take one out of this packet.
Yeah.
You got one, Ann?
Yeah. same one.
I've read this whole thing.
I heard a motion to accept the minutes.
I make a motion, we accept the minutes from last month.
Do I hear a second? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. No opposing. In the matter of old business, there is none. I don't think, okay. New business, open for public comment.
Just like to comment that this is our first live stream, and thank goodness it's been a long time coming, and I thank everybody's support that we can join in to present this information to our community.
Very good. Anyone else? All right. Zone change for City of Stanton, 100 Maple Street, R1 to B2.
So I'm here to represent the city in my duties as well. So they bought the old Willsie's building that's right behind us here and the lot right beside it. So the lot beside it is 100 Maple Street. There used to be a house on there years ago. I couldn't find any plans or anything of, the house that was there. It was many, many years ago. But it was R1 still, and the old Willsie's building is B2. So the city is wanting to build a new maintenance garage and to store all of our equipment so it's not out in the weather and things like that. And they'll have a little office space so that they can have their little meetings in the morning and stuff like that. It'll be built on the other property, but in order to put a commercial type property like that, it needs its own change to B2. I can answer any questions, I think, if you have any.
Well,
What else is B2 back there besides Wilson's?
The Little Princess Detail,
Okay.
that's owned by Monty Berryman, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're just asking for the lot?
And then
the
we're
lot this
B2
direction.
here.
The lot this direction, you go to B2?
So if you're facing Willsie's, it's the lot to the left.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
Do we need to make a motion on that then?
I think it
Yeah.
makes sense to turn it into B2. I think it makes sense, and
I'll make a motion, we change it from R1 to B2.
I think we got the same deal here now, finding necessary
Mhm.
proposed map amendment.
Yeah.
That the existing zoning classification given to the property is inappropriate and the proposed zoning classification is appropriate. Or B, that there have been major changes of economic, physical, or social nature within the area involved which were not anticipated in the adoption of comprehensive plan, which have substantially altered the basic character of such area. So, A or B.
I couldn't hear what you're
Here
saying.
you go. I can show it
Which
to
one
you.
is
It's
it?
on the paper.
Yeah.
did anybody
So this
oppose it,
is-
any of the neighbors?
Right there. And I had put, I felt like it fell under B. He has A in front of him. I had put B in my report.
Did you put B?
I did put B in my report. Of course, it's up to you guys, whatever y'all,
Yeah.
I felt like that's what it fell under, just under an opinion, but whatever you guys think.
Okay, B.
Tara was asking if anybody opposed it in the,
I did have one person call me. It was the neighbor right to the left of them, and after I explained to them what was going on and things, they were a little bit confused on what it was.
Yeah.
But once I explained to them, they were all on board. Yeah, I had a meeting with them.
so is the old Willsie's building being torn down to build this new facility?
No, the city of Stanton owns it, and we'll be renting it out for lease
Oh, okay.
for profit. Yeah.
So the new building will go on just the 100?
It'll be a standalone lot by itself, yeah.
Okay.
And they don't need it's two different lots, so per ordinance, they can build on that lot. And then, once they get they're still in the process, city council is, and the mayor, and getting more building plans, stuff like that, but I'll bring that back to you guys when I get more details of that stuff.
Okay. So it was a motion for B. Ask for a motion.
I have a question, one more question. I know when Wilsey's was built, because it was in that area and there was no other businesses there, that it had to look like a house and it had to, had to kind of blend in with that area. Is that still for this too, or is it gonna be a maintenance garage where they can pull trucks in it and?
No, at the time when Wilsey's done that, I think that was maybe before the zoning change or
Yeah.
something, but, it would just be B2. It'll look
Okay.
like a maintenance garage,
Okay,
just
okay.
being,
Yeah, I was
completely
just
apart.
curious, I mean, I
Yeah.
don't,
Yeah, no, I'm not sure what all went on with the Wilsey's, but Wilsey's is B2, so if
Right.
something happened and it were to, be gone for whatever reason, they could build it back to look just
Right.
like any other kind of business.
Okay.
Yeah, that building, the Wilsey's building can, and now if they get a zone change, the
Mhm.
100 Maple Street can as well, if they get it.
So does that meet our comprehensive plan that we have in place for that property?
B does.
B does?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do I hear a second? We had a motion by our brother. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carried. All right, staff report.
I kind of updated the other board. There's been a couple of things going on with the Stephon Markham case. And when we went to court in August, he came into the courtroom and asked for representation and said he was working on it still. The judge was lenient with him, but also very stern and said, he gives him, till the end of September to find representation. If not, then it's being heard with or without it. So I think we'll get somewhere in September. And then, I think some of y'all had heard, like, they were trying to do the annexation for Dale Allen. There is different statute now than what, was thought before. So, I've advised him and gave him a zoning letter and let him know, what he would need to do to get that done. He hasn't come back to me and told me, whether or not he wants to continue with that. Then I've been working on some different violation letters, sending those out. Couple of research things that people's called me. I've got some more stuff that's kind of in the works that may be on the board next month, of people wanting to buy properties, build. It's expanding quick. It's just things I'm hearing. If I had any concrete stuff, I'd bring it to you. It's just things I'm hearing on the back end, but yeah. Yeah.
Can you accept that?
No. No. I'll just note the minutes and give a report.
Update on 2 new ordinances, the standard stick brick houses and qualified manufactured homes, and mobile homes.
Yeah, so, when I talked to the gentleman that helped write the House Bill 160 at the state, he helped give me a lot of guidance on what I need to put as far as definitions, how to use the House Bill 160 statute. And one of the things I talked to him about was our issue with accessory buildings being used as live-in and standalone residential purposes. And he said the best way that we could fix that, in his opinion, was if I done an ordinance that kind of reconstructed residential uses. And so then it touches on the ADUs that we have in place. It touches on the qualified manufactured homes, because there's qualified manufactured homes, and those are 5 years or newer, and they have to meet all HUD and housing standards through the state of Kentucky building codes. So that's all referenced in the ordinance, so that anybody who comes in now and wants to build anything, they're having to meet those state housing, building codes and HUD building codes. So it prevents any accessory building does not meet those codes. I will already tell you that. So it automatically eliminates those by default. So unless they meet those standards, they can't have them there. And so they would have to do so much work to them that it would help eliminate them. But if they're, but it's still not showing any kind of difference toward them, as long as they're willing to build it to code too. But they have to be built to that HUD and Kentucky building codes.
Does that also apply to businesses?
Yeah, businesses, businesses already get, so anything in a commercial lot gets approved through state. Like our new building we're talking about has to go through the state. So the plumbing, the electric, I was trying to think of other things like structural has to go through the state. Yeah.
Sure they do inspections for all of
the other one, is there's one part on there, and I had thought about it too and debated on even putting in there about the conditional use permits for qualified manufactured homes. That is something we don't put on stick-built homes, so it's probably something we'll have to eliminate going forward with this new House Bill 160. It's probably gonna put us open to, if, you know, we're showing difference, you know, between a stick-built house, and that's exactly what House Bill 160 is trying to avoid. So if you're doing that, and you're putting a hardship on somebody that's putting in a qualified manufactured home versus someone who's in a stick-built, it's probably illegal, and I'll probably have to take that out. I put it in there because we do that currently, but it's probably gonna have to come out.
But they would have to meet the requirements.
Yes,
So-
it has to be 5 years or no, it has to meet HUD standard, it has to be Kentucky Building Code standards, yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
well, that helps anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
That was good.
yeah. I mean, that eliminates the need for conditional use permit. The reason why we did that prior is because they weren't meeting those, and so it helped try to put some conditions on there where it would, you know, alleviate some of those problems. But this, with that new House Bill 160, it eliminates all the problems we were having before with that kind of thing.
All right. Anything else? Anybody, any questions for her or comments for her? All right, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second it. All in favor, say aye.